Alright, I think we're working. Last week I recorded my video, and for some reason, whenever I stopped the recording and went to search for it in my files, it was not there, so I do apologize for last week. But this week, hopefully we won't have any trouble. Ready to get started. Go into our solo raids, um, and first, obviously, you want to go into your settings, turn your raid retry off, and then we're good to go. All right, for anybody who's new, the way we do this is you do your portals along with me. Wait to open the portal until after I've completed the portal and gone through every detail available so that you can know exactly what you're getting into, and do it as fast as possible. All right, here we go. Starting with Portal 1, we've got LoJack. Our decks are Moonbeam, Acid Drench, and Blazing Inferno. I'm going to go with Moonbeam. You could probably do okay with Blazing Inferno if you had a high level on that, but I do not, so I'm just going to go ahead and go with Moonbeam. There we go. And for these first few portals, there's no point in looking at the info because they don't have any info until 20. So next Titan, Portal 2, Taktar. We've got Swarm, Skull Bash, and we've got Acid Drench. And if you hear any popping in the background, that's fireworks because it's the 4th of July here in the United States. I'm going to go Swarm. Get those stacks down. Nice. Alright, I'm really gun shy here. I want to keep double checking my recording to make sure it's recording. Alright, on to Portal 3. We've got a Juck. Our decks are Razorwind, Skull Bash, and Clanship Barrage. I'm going to go with Razorwind. I'm going to take down the head, torso, and 2 legs. But it really doesn't matter a whole lot on these early Titans because there's no armor, so you don't have to optimize your damage. Alright, moving on to Portal 4. We've got another Juck. Our decks are Grim Shadow, Moonbeam, and Thriving Plague. I'm going to go Thriving Plague. Thriving Plague's a little difficult to get the stacks to go down, but if you can get the stacks to go down, it does help kill it real fast. 6 seconds. Easy. Okay, moving on to Portal 5. We've got Juck. Our decks are Clanship Barrage, Razorwind, Victory March, and Psychic Chain, Victory March, and Razorwind, and Blazing Inferno, Thriving Plague. I'm going to go with Victory March, Razorwind. I'll take down the limbs first since they will help to ramp up Victory March faster. There we go. Nice. Moving on to Portal 6. We've got a Sterile. We got a Gas Swarm, Purifying Glass. We got Swarm Whip, and we've got Gas Acid Drench. I think I'm going to go Gas Swarm. Yeah, Gas Swarm. This will help the Swarm stacks go down faster, and I can stay on the torso, which will help it die really fast. Oops, died a little fast there. Here we go. Oh man. And we can move on to Portal 7. We've got a Taktar. Our decks are Clanship Barrage, Skull Bash, Victory March, Haymaker, Clanship Barrage, Fairies, and Decaying Strike Whip. I think I'm going to go with Ancestral Favor, Skull Bash, because you get a general buff with the Ancestral Favor. It just make it go down real fast. There we go. Yeah, see? Nice and quick. Man, I'm going to have to double check my graphics card because it's acting up again. It's so weird because it was working fine. We can go to our next portal. We got Portal 8. We got Mohaka. Inspiring Force Swarm, Purifying Blast Acid Drench. We've got Haymaker with Totem and Razorwind Totem. I'm going to go deck 1, Inspiring Force Swarm. Yeah, there we go. Easy. Alrighty, and check my recording in just to be sure. We're doing pretty good there. Move on to our next portal. We've got LoJack. We got Fuse with Inspiring Force. We got Torso Focus, Limb Focus, and Swarm with Whip. I'm gonna go Swarm with Whip. Because, Swarm will get a lot of parts afflicted, which will help Whip's ability to take him down. Alright, moving on to Portal 10. I believe we've got some armor to deal with now, so we have to be more careful about our optimizing the damage. So we've got Mohawka. We'll skip the torso. Our decks are Clench Barrage, Razorwind, Swarm Whip, Skull Bash Totem, Clench Barrage Totem, and Decaying Strike Whip. I think probably Swarm Whip is our best bet here. And just go around his cycle pattern, which is legs, arms, and head. And spend a little extra time on the head. There we go. That went down pretty quick. 7 seconds is real good. Moving on to Portal 11. We've got another Mohawka. Our decks are Inspiring Force Swarm, Clench Barrage Razorwind, Ancestral Favor with Fragmentize, and then we've got Radioactivity and Prism, and Clench Barrage Victory March. I think I'll go with Swarm Inspiring Force again. Just chew through the armor with the damage of Swarm. There we go. Here, now we can just take it down. Nice and quick. We can move on to portal number 12. We've got Takdar. Our deck's Purifying Blast Acid Drench. And we've got Radioactivity with Prismatic Rift. We've got Victory March with Moonbeam, Thriving Plague with Blazing Inferno, and Whip with Decaying Strike. I'm going to go with Thriving Plague with Blazing Inferno. No support card, but we're still pretty low level, so we don't really need it that bad. Can't believe Blazing Inferno's not activating. Usually pretty quick to activate. There we go. 11-second takedown is not bad at all. Moving on to Portal 13. We've got LoJack. Look at our decks. We've got Torso Focus. We've got Swarm Whip. We've got Moonbeam Prismatic Rift. We've got Skull Bash with Totem. And we've got Decaying Strike with Whip. I think I'm going to go Swarm Whip again. There we go. Get those stacks down. Shouldn't take too long. There we go. Nice. And we're still recording good. Just had to double check that. Move on to Portal 14. We've got a Tarot. Our decks are Inspiring Force Swarm, Moonbeam Prismatic Rift, Thriving Plague Gas, Clench Barrage Prismatic Rift, and Fragmentize with Prismatic Rift. I think I'm going to go with Tarot. It's easier to do 3 pieces, but if you can't do that, you can always do a cycle deck with everything but the head. So I'm going to go with deck 3. And make sure to focus down the torso a lot harder than the limbs. There we go. And of course, you want to take down all the limbs. There we go. Easy. Wow, that went down faster than I thought it would. Move on to Portal 15. We've got Takdar. Our decks are Blazing Inferno, Thriving Plague. We've got Body with Grim, Head Focus with Haymaker, Torso Focus with Totem, Purifying Blast with Totem, and we've got Victory March with Haymaker. I think probably our best bet for this one. We want to take one of the ones with the support with the 3 cards. We might have to just chew through the armor with deck 2 because the transitions might not be easy with this one. Yeah, I'm gonna go with deck 2. Chew through the armor and just have the general buff of Inspiring Force. There we go. Oh man, that's some really thick armor. We'll leave Grim Shadows to work on those while we take down the limbs. Oh, put the stacks back on there. There we go. That went pretty good. 17 seconds isn't bad. Move on to Portal 16. We've got a Mohaka. Our decks are Radioactivity, Gas, and Swarm. Gas, Maelstrom, and Swarm. Head Focus with Haymaker. Armor Focus. We've got Torso Focus, and we've got Limb Focus. Well. I think our best bet's to go with deck 2 and cycle around, pay extra attention to the head. And maybe a little extra attention to the legs too. Okay, wow, didn't need the extra attention too much. It died pretty quick. Okay, moving on to Portal 17. We got a Tarot. Our decks are Fuse, Rift, and Swarm. Clanship Barrage with Ancestral Fervor Flak. We got Purifying Blast with Totem. And we've got Ancestral Fervor with Head Focus and Prismatic Rift with Whip and Blazing Inferno. I'm going to go with deck 2. We'll take down the leg armor, the head armor, and then the torso armor. And let Flak do the work on the body. Goodness, it's just so strong. Don't even have to worry about Flak. Alright, moving on to Portal 18. We've got a Takdar. Our decks are Gas, Grim, and Swarm. Body Focus with Grim. We've got Purifying Blast with Body. Torso Focus with Fairies. We've got Limb Focus with Decaying Strike. And we've got Thriving Plague with Blazing Inferno and Gas. I think we're going to go with Thriving Plague, Inferno, and Gas. Get those stacks of Blazing Inferno down. Make sure you focus down the head and the torso real well because all the other pieces will die very fast. There we go. We can move on to portal number 19. We've got another Takdar. Our decks are Clanship Barrage, Ancestral Fervor Flak. We've got Limb Focus with Armor. We've got Body Focus, Head Focus, Limb Focus, and another Limb Focus. So I think probably Clanship Barrage with Flak is our best bet. We'll take down the armor first. There we go, yeah. And let Flak take down the body parts. Goodness, it's just obliterates everything so fast. And those are some terrible transitions too. Alright, moving on to Portal 20, we can start getting some info. We'll get one bit of info from now until Portal 30. So it'll be positive or negative depending on what the Titan is. So we got LoJack, so we have 50% increased head health. Alright, got Fusion, Gas, and Swarm. Victory March with Grim Shadow. We've got Totem with Purifying Blast. We've got Head Focus. Victory March with Haymaker. We've got Thriving Plague with Blazing Inferno. And we've got Blazing Inferno, Prismatic Rift, and Whip. So since we got the extra head HP, we could probably do pretty good with deck 3. Just take down the head, torso, legs, and then maybe 1 or 2 arms. We'll see how that goes. Alright, start on the torso. I do believe that transitions a lot quicker. Grab this, grab this. We want that head though. The fairies to head over there. We can take down that leg. Come on, fairies. There we go. Got him. Oh, okay. Alright, moving on to Portal 21. We've got a LoJack. Our info is 10% increase to support effects. Our decks are Fuse, Gas, and Swarm. We got Gas, Maelstrom, and Swarm. We got Body Focus with Grim Shadow. We got Torso Focus, Armor Focus, Head Focus, and Limb Focus. So I think I'm going to go ahead and go with Gas, Maelstrom, and Swarm. We'll just focus down the torso and the head real well. There you go. Dogs are going nuts because of the firecrackers. There we go. That went pretty well. Moving on to Portal 22. We've got Mohaka. Our info is 50% increase to limb health. So we probably can take this Mohaka down with just the 2 legs and then 2 arm pieces. We got Fuse, Prismatic Rift, and Swarm. We've got Torso Focus, Limb Focus with Armor, All Armor Focus, Torso Focus, Purifying Blast with Totem, and Limb Focus. I think I'm going to go with the Limb Focus deck. We'll just take down 1 limb at a time here. That one. 2. The legs will be a little bit thicker. There you go. And we might need a hand after this. Yeah, we'll need 1 hand. There we go. We can move to Portal 23. We've got a Sterile. Our deck. Oh, let's look at our info. 25% increase to burst damage. Our decks are Radioactivity with Gas and Swarm, Body Focus with Grim, Clanship Barrage with Flak, Clanship Barrage with Razorwind, Armor with Limb, All Armor, and Limb Focus. So I'm going to go with Clanship Barrage Flak. I feel like that's our best bet on this one with the burst damage increase. We'll just take down the armor on the limbs, and then the head, and then the torso. I'll let the Clanship Barrage finish off that torso and we're good. Alright, moving on to Portal 24. We've got a Tarot. Our decks are, let's look at our info again. Leg armor, health increase. Ooh, dog's going nuts. We've got Fuse with Gas and Swarm, Body with Grim, Clanship Barrage with Razorwind, Clanship Barrage with Fragmentize, Head Focus with Haymaker, Head Focus, and Whip with Prismatic Rift. I think we go, I think we go Clanship Barrage with Razorwind. We can shoot through the armor damage with Clanship Barrage's damage. Let's start on the head. There we go. We get Clanship Barrage a chance to get ramped up with the higher parts. There we go. Not bad. And now we can move on to Portal number 25. We've got Juck. Our info is 15% increase to raid damage. Our decks are Ancestral Favor, Clanship Barrage, Flak. We've got a Psycho Affliction deck. I'm going to try and speed this up a little bit. We got a Limb deck with armor. We got Clanship Barrage with armor. We got All Armor. We got Purifying Blast with Fairies, and we've got Limb Focus with Thriving Plague. So this is Juck. All right, let's go with Clanship Barrage with Flak. I feel like that does our best here. We just take down the legs, torso, and head. I'll obviously start with the limb armor and let Flak do the work on the body. There we go. Nice. 12-second takedown. Alright, moving on to Portal 26. We've got a LoJack. Our info is 50% increase to head health. So we should be able to take it down with completely ignoring 1 arm. We got Fuse, Gas, and Swarm. We got Gas, Grim, and Swarm. We got Gas, Maelstrom, and Swarm. Ancestral Favor, Clanship Barrage, Moonbeam. Victory March with Clanship Barrage, All Armor, and Armor with Whip. I think we're going to go... What was it again? Head health. We're going to go Clanship Barrage with Moonbeam. It gives it a little bonus damage to the torso. We'll go ahead and take the torso out first to get Clanship Barrage rammed up. Then switch to the head. And then the shoulder. That was not a terrible transition, but it wasn't great either. Oh, wow, we didn't even need a leg. The second leg. Nice. Alright, well that went well. We can move on to 27 now. Let me check my recording real quick. Yeah, it still says it's recording. Alright, we got a low jack. Our info is all limb damage increase. Great. We got armor with limb. We got body with purifying blast, armor with limb again, victor march with grim shadow, all armor damage, thriving plague with limb, and general for thriving plague. Let's go with the general thriving plague deck. I feel like it's probably our best bet with the cycle deck. It'll do real good damage because of the limb buff. We'll just have to make sure we get good stacks on the head and the torso. Yeah. There we go. Not too bad. Okay, we can move on to Portal 28. We got a Mohaka. Our info is 50% leg health increase. Okay. And look at our decks. We got Fusion, Bomb with Gas and Swarm. We got a Cycle Affliction deck. We got Body with Grim, another Cycle Affliction. We've got Armor with Limb, Purifying Blast with Totem, and we got another Cycle Affliction deck. I think probably either 2 or 7 is our best bet. I'm going to go with 7 because I've got a lot of levels on Thriving Plague. I feel like it's my best deck on this one. Get those stacks down on the head and then move around the limbs to get those affliction stacks on the arms. Come on, Thriving Plague. There we go. Just the legs left. We're good. Okay, we can move on to portal number 29. And at 30, we'll get the buffs and debuffs, both on every Titan. So we got Juck, 25% increase of burst chance. Look at our decks. We got a Fuse Affliction deck. We've got a Clanship Barrage Limb deck, Clanship Barrage Body deck, a Limb Armor deck, Head deck, Totem with Fairy, or Totem with Purifying Blast deck, and we've got a Thriving Plague Cycle deck. With Juck, was it again? Burst Chance. Okay, so probably go with deck 2. I think that gets us our best bet here. And we can take down all the limbs and then either the head or the torso once Clanship Barrage gets ramped up. Getting some decent transitions here. There we go. Nice. All right, moving on to portal number 20, or sorry, this will be portal 30. We'll have both buff and debuff on the info. So now we got 15% increase to raid damage and 50% leg health increase. Look at our decks. We got Fuse with armor. We've got armor with limb. We got head focus, torso focus, limb focus, Thriving Plague with limb focus, and whip with armor focus. What was it again? It was raid 15% raid damage and then leg health. Okay, so I think probably our best bet on this one would be either the limb deck, which is deck 5, or deck 6. 5 or 6. I'm gonna say 6 is our best bet. We'll just avoid the head and take down all the limbs. With the extra limb health that the debuff gives us, we can avoid the head part, which is fine. There we go. Not too shabby. Moving on to portal 31. Check their recording. Yeah, still recording good. 31, we've got Juck. Our decks are, oh, let's look at the info. Armoring damage increase and burst damage decrease. So look at Juck, we've got fusion deck with afflictions. We've got torso focus, ancestral favor. We've got body focus, purifying blast, victory march with grim, all armor focus, torso focus, purifying blast with totem, and we've got victory march with haymaker. Yeah, I'm gonna go with deck 7, purifying blast with totem. We'll just take down the oh, well, I might have froze up. We'll see what happens here. I really hope it doesn't freeze up again. Having too much trouble with this. The recording's still going, it says. All right. Look at what we got here. Yeah, okay. So, like I said, I'm going to do deck 7. And just focus torso, head, and 2 legs. Unless the fairies seem to want to do the arms more, which is there's a good chance of it. Come on, fairies. Where are you at? There we go. I might as well do the limbs. Oh, I missed it. All right, just nab this hand and we're good. All right, moving on to portal number 32. We've got a sterile. Our info is limb damage increase and limb health increase. We got a fuse affliction deck. We've got a armor limb deck. We've got a Victory March Clanship Barrage deck. Totem with Purifying Blast. We've got head focus, Victory March with Haymaker, limb focus Thriving Plague, and whip with Prismatic Rift. What's it again? Limb damage increase. All right, well, I think I'm gonna go Totem with Purifying Blast, and we'll just take down the torso, head, and 1 leg. And since the limb health is increased, we only have to take down 1 limb part instead of 2. Generally with sterile you have to take down a leg and a hand, but with that 50% increase we just need to get the leg. Alright, moving on to portal 33. We've got a tarot. We've got 25% increase to burst damage and 15% decrease to affliction damage. Look at our decks. We got Fuse with Prismatic Rift. We've got a Clanship Barrage Flak deck. That's a good one. We got Armor with Limb, Body with Purifying Blast, All Armor, Torso Focus, Totem with Purifying Blast, and Whip with Prismatic Rift. I'm going to go deck 2. We'll take down 1 leg, the torso, and the head. We'll just take down the armor on the leg and the armor on the head and let Flak do its job. Go. Finish off the head. Come on. And then back to the torso. Got it. All right. Can move on to 34. We've got a Takdar. Our info is 20% increase to body damage and 50% increased torso health. All right, let's look at our decks. We got Fuse, Gas, and Swarm. We got Body Focus, Ancestral Favor. We got Limb with Armor, Body with Purifying Blast, Limb with Armor again, Totem with Purifying Blast, Victory March with Haymaker, and Thriving Plague with Limb. So we probably can't do. Yeah, we might be able to do it with. Deck 1. We'll give it a shot and see what happens. Just make sure to focus real heavily on the torso and the head. There we go. Oops. All right. Well, we gotta stay off one part while the other part's blowing up here. That's the thing I don't like about Fusion Bomb. Basically nerfs itself. There we go. the less pieces you have, the more Fusion Bomb gets nerfed. But we made it through. We can do 35 now. 35 is Juck. Our ducks are, oh, let's look at our info, sorry. Torso damage increased by 25% and 20% decrease affliction duration. All right, so we got a Affliction Grim Shadow deck. We've got Radioactivity with Swarm, Fusion with Armor, Body with Grim, Torso with Totem, Head with Ancestral Favor, Limb with Thriving Plague, and a General Thriving Plague. I would like to do a burst deck if I can because, oh, you know what? Fusion Bomb is buffed on this one, but we won't have a support card that'll work after the armor's down, so we don't want to use Fusion Bomb. It's almost like they're forcing us to use an Affliction deck even though we don't want to. I'll use deck 8 and see how it works. We'll just avoid the torso and hit the head and limbs. There we go. Focus down those legs and the head real well. There we go. We got it. Still doing them all with one attack, so that's good. If you're able to do them with one attack, you're more likely to have less time, or you're definitely going to have less time because each time you have to switch between attacks, you lose a few seconds there. All right, let's look at our info. It's Affliction duration increase and armor health increase as well for our debuff. We got Fuse with Gas, that will be nerfed because of the Affliction duration. We've got Decaying Strike, this Affliction Cycle deck. We've got a Purifying Blast with Body, Armor with Limb, Head Focus, Victory March with Clanship Barrage. We've got a good General Cycle Affliction deck, and then we've got Whip with Prismatic Rift. I'm going to go with this one. Affliction duration is really good for Thriving Plague. So we'll go ahead and do deck 7. And just avoid the torso and take down the head and limbs. We might not even have to do all the limbs, but it's good for Psycho decks to just go ahead and do them anyway. Oh, I can't see real well. There we go. I accidentally hit the torso because I wasn't able to see. Get those stacks on there real good. Oh boy. One piece. There we go. Got it. All right, we can move on to portal number 37. We've got a Mohaka. Our info is 3 seconds added to our raid attack duration and 50% limb health increase. All right, we got Body with Grim, Gas with Swarm, Purifying Blast Body, Armor Focus, Torso Focus, Totem with Purifying Blast, Limb Focus, and Victory March with Haymaker. So with the limb health increase, we could probably do it pretty well with the limb focus deck. So that's what I'll try. I'll give that one a shot and see how it works. We'll take down the legs first, and then move on and do one arm at a time because I don't believe we need to do much more than 4 parts on this one. Decaying Strike should be able to take it down once we get to about 20%. And we do need one more hand. There we go. All right, we can move on to portal number 38. Check my recording. It says it's still recording, so we're good. We've got Sterile. Our info is 25% increase to affliction damage and 20% decrease to leg damage. So we can avoid that pretty easily. We got Torso Focus, Ancestral Favor. We got Armor with Limb, Purifying Blast with Body, Armor with Limb again. We got Head Focus, Victory March with Clanship Barrage, Torso Focus, and Thriving Plague with Limb. Honestly, I think we're probably further ahead going deck 7. I think we can take it down. The torso is just so beefy on sterile. It should be alright. Leg damage decrease, affliction damage increase. Huh. We don't have any affliction decks at all. They're all burst decks. We've got one affliction deck, but it's only for limbs, and we don't want to. We kind of want to avoid the legs, so that screws us over. Well, let's do deck 7 and see if we can do it with one hit. Fingers crossed. We'll do the torso first. We'll get some good damage because of the fairies and because of Soul Beam and Soulfire and Moonbeam. Ugh. Switch to the head. Damage won't be nearly as good on the head, but Totem is an OP card, so it'll still die pretty fast. Switch to these arm pieces. Come on. Here we go. One more arm piece. Yeah, we got the hand. We got it. Barely. Whew. Had less than a second left. Alright, we can move on to portal number 39. We got Tactar. Our info is 3 seconds added to our attack duration and 50% torso health increase. Alright, we got Clanship Barrage Flak. We got Clanship Barrage, Clanship Barrage Flak, Torso Focus with Ancestral Favor, Limb with Armor, Purifying Blast with Body, Limb Focus, Thriving Plague with Limb Focus, a General Thriving Plague, and Whip with Prismatic Rift. Set attack duration, torso health. Okay, yeah, I think we want to go deck 1. Deck 1 will take down one side of the limbs. Oops, let's start with the hands. They're a little bit easier to head. Come on, torso. What's going on here? Here we go. Here we go. We'll just take it down. I don't think we need the leg, but we might. No, we didn't need the leg. We're good. Alright, moving on to Portal 40. We've got LoJack. Our info is burst chance increased by 25% and 15% decrease to burst damage. We got Fuse with Prismatic Rift. We got Clanship Barrage with Torso. Ancestral Favor with Torso. Clanship Barrage with Razorwind. Purifying Blast with Body. Head Focus. Victory March with Grim Shadow. And Totem with Purifying Blast. I think Ancestral Favor with Clanship Barrage and Moonbeam is our best bet here. And we'll start with the torso. Move to the head. After the torso's down, we just do one part at a time. There we go. Clanship Barrage is ramped up enough that it's doing the damage, even though Moonbeam is nerfed. Do a leg. Another leg. Now the arms. Another arm. There we go. We got it. Moving on to portal number 41. We're down to the last 10 here. We got Tactar. Our info is armor damage increase and limb health increased for our debuff. We've got Body with Grim, Ancestral Favor with Flak, Clanship Barrage and Flak. We've got Armor with Limb, Head Focus with Haymaker, Victory March, Clanship Barrage, All Armor Focus, Limb Focus, Whip with Prismatic Rift. Yeah, I think Clanship Barrage with Flak and Ancestral Favor is our best bet here. We just take down the Limb Armor, move on after the armor's down, if possible. Sometimes those missiles are flying too late and they take down the armor anyway, even if you're not wanting it to. Or the body, I mean, even if you're not wanting it to. There we go. And just take down that. There we go. Wow, we probably didn't even need to take down the armor on some of those limbs, but you never know for sure. So it's alright. Alright, moving on to Portal 42. We've got a Juck. Our info is 25% increase to head damage and 20% decrease to torso damage. So we'll just avoid the torso. We got Fuse with Prismatic Rift and Swarm, Body with Grim, Ancestral Favor, Clanship Barrage Flak, Armor with Limb, Victory March, Clanship Barrage, All Armor Focus, Purifying Blast with Totem, and Limb Focus with Thriving Plague. I'm going to go with deck, was it 3? Yeah, deck 3. And remember, just avoid the torso and take down the limbs and the head, and we should be good. Come on. I need flak to take down the body. I don't understand why these rockets want to fly. There we go. Take down the head, arms, legs. Got it. Typically, if you can avoid doing decks with, transition decks with Titans, you have to do a lot of transitions on. It's good. Moving on to Portal 43, you got Sterile, 25% increase to burst damage and 15% decrease to burst damage. So just a slight increase on burst damage. Got Ancestral Favor, Clinch, Barrage, Flak, Purifying Blast Body, Limb Focus with Armor, Head Focus, All Armor Focus, Torso Focus, Limb Focus, and Whip with Prismatic Rift. And again, I'm going to go with Ancestral Favor, Clinch, Barrage, and Flak. We'll take down one hand, armor, one leg, the head, and then the torso. Finish off the head, back to the torso, and we're good. As soon as it dies. There we go. Check my recording again. Still recording. Should be good. Alright, moving on to portal number 44, sorry. Our info is, it's a Takdar, or Takdar. I always just called it Takdar. 3 seconds added to raid duration and 50% limb health increase. So with the 50% limb health increase, we probably only need to do 4 limbs and just ignore one completely. One arm completely, or one leg, depending on what you want to do. We got Fuse, Gas, and Swarm. Fuse, Prismatic Rift, and Swarm. Gas and Swarm with Decaying Strike. Victory March with Grim Shadow. Victory March, Clinch, Barrage. Torso Focus with Totem, Limb Focus, and Victory March with Haymaker. I want a Cycle deck if I can. Probably this one. Let's look at our info again. 3 seconds added on and limb health increase. I apologize for my allergies. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with deck 1, and we'll end up just hitting everything. Get that bomb planted. There we go. Yeah. Oh man, I don't know how I messed that torso up. It irks me too because it's one of the ones that are important. Down. Up. Yeah, this will be our first 2 deck. Oh wow, never mind. I thought for sure we were going 2 decks, but we took it down with 1. Incredible. Alright, we can move on to Portal 45. We got Tarot. Our info is 25% increase to torso damage and 50% increase to torso health. Alright, so we could probably ignore a leg. Let's look at our decks. We've got Fuse with Gas and Swarm. We've got Radioactivity with Gas and Swarm. Torso Focus. Purifying Blast, Body Focus, Victory March, Clinch, Barrage, Head Focus, Victory March, Haymaker, and Thriving Plague. I'm going to go with that Torso Focus deck. Where was it? This one. Or was there another one? No. We're going to go with deck 3. Deck 3 and take down the torso and the head, and I think we'll be good after that. And even though Soulfire will not work on the head, the general damage from Ancestral Favor will still proc, so it should go down. It won't be fast, but we should have enough time. We'll see. It's at 500. Oh yeah, we've got enough. Just to take down the head. I don't know if we're going to make it in 4 seconds, though. Oh, we got it. Less than a second left. Amazing. Beautiful. Alright. Moving on to Portal 46. We've got Takdar. Our info is 40% increase to affliction duration and 50% limb health increase. Alright, great. We can use a good cycle deck on this one. We got Ancestral Favor, Clinch, Barrage, and Psychic Chain. We got Armor with Limb, Purifying Blast with Body, Victory March with Grim Shadow, Limb Focus, Victory March with Haymaker, Limb Focus with Thriving Plague, and Thriving Plague with the general Blazing Inferno and Gas. What was it? Affliction Duration? Yeah. Yeah, we definitely want to take deck 8. That's a really good deck for this one. Just make sure to focus down the head and the torso real well, because they will take a lot more damage than the limbs. In fact, just getting Blazing Inferno on the limbs is probably enough. Yeah, just stay on the torso and the head. Now we can start cycling around on these and killing it off. There we go. Alright, moving on to portal number 47. We've got Mohaka. Our info is 25% increase to limb damage and 20% decrease to affliction duration. So hopefully we've got a good burst deck. We've got Fuse with Gas and Swarm, Ancestral Favor, Clinch Barrage, and Skull Bash. That's not bad. Ancestral Favor, Clinch Barrage, and Fragmentation. Also not bad. Victory March, Clinch Barrage, All Armor Focus, Purifying Blast with Totem, Limb Focus, and Thriving Plague with Blazing Inferno. Okay, that's probably our best bet here, because we've got... Oh no, it's Affliction Duration. We want a bursty deck. I'll go... This hits all parts. We're going to go with deck 3. Deck 3, take down the head, and then the limbs. Come on. Wonder if we can take this Titan down in one deck. We are getting kind of high, and this one's not optimal. I do not like Ancestral Favor because of all the transitions you have to make. It's not a good cycle deck. We might have it. Yeah, we've got it. Went pretty well. Never underestimate Clanship Barrage with Ancestral Favor. Just so good. Alright, moving on to Portal 48. We've got another Mohaka. 10% increase to support effects and 50% increase to limb health. Alright. Our decks are Body with Grim, Purifying Blast with Body, Head Focus, Victory March with Clanship Barrage, Torso Focus, Totem with Purifying Blast, Ancestral Favor with Head Focus, and Thriving Plague with Blazing Inferno. What was it again? Support effects, limb health. Okay, well, honestly, we don't have to take down all the limbs, but we might as well do this. We might as well do this because Gas will get the double buff from the support effects, right? Yeah, he gets a double buff from the support effects, and it's a good cycle deck. We'll just go ahead and run that. Focus down the head real well. Get those Thriving Plague stacks down, and then also on the legs because they're really beefy on Mohaka. I love that they took the gap out between the legs. It just makes it so much easier to do in a cycle deck on Mohaka. Make sure we get that head down. Got it. Alright, moving on. We've got onto 49. We've got a Sterile. Our info is 25% increase to burst chance and 50% increase to limb health. Okay, so we don't have to take down a hand, we just take down the leg, torso, and head. We got Fuse with Prismatic Rift and Swarm, Ancestral Favor with Torso Focus, Limb with Armor, Head Focus with Haymaker, Victory March with Grim Shadow, Purifying Blast with Totem, Ancestral Favor with Head Focus, and Thriving Plague with Limb Focus. I'm going with deck 6. This is a no-brainer. We can just take down 3 parts, torso, head, and leg. I like it when I got a really easy choice on my deck. Because the Titan and the debuff. Come on. And then down to leg. Come on, fairies, get down here. Do some work. Alright. We can move on to portal number 50, our final portal for the night. It is a Juck. Our info is 25% increase to torso damage. Good, we can focus the torso, and 50% armor health. We can just avoid the arms, just do head, torso, and legs. Good. Look at our decks. We got Fuse with Prismatic Rift. We've got Ancestral Favor with Torso. Ancestral Favor Clinch Barrage Razorwind. That's a good one for this. Armor with Limb. Ancestral Favor Clinch Barrage Fragmentize. Also a good one. Head Focus with Haymaker. Victory March with Grim Shadow. And All Armor Focus. Alright, so it's either 3 or 5. I'm going to go with 3 because I've got more levels on Razorwind, and I believe there's less armor on these Titans than there is body. We've got that good torso buff. So this should be real quick. Down to the torso. Yeah, that torso's going to die real fast. And then the legs. Clanship Barrage is so ramped up at this point that they're just going to immediately die. Love it. There we go. We made it through all the portals with only one deck. Went really well. Hope you guys all enjoyed. And hopefully this week, when I stop the recording, it will actually save it to my folder, unlike last week. So thanks for watching. Make sure you go back to your settings and turn on your raid retry, so when you do your next clan raid, you won't screw up. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys again next week.